Look at this photo for 10 seconds. What is going through your head? Did a masjid really put a Christmas tree up? Is this really true? How far will they go? This is unbelievable. Have they totally lost their mind? And maybe there are other not so nice thoughts. People are confused and wondering why someone has decided to put a Christmas tree in the masjid. But let's see what's really behind this photo. Don't panic, brothers and sisters. Things are not always as they seem, and sometimes there's a logical explanation. This is not a masjid. It is a local community center hall in England for Friday prayers. And why are they praying there? It's actually simple. Either the local mosque is too small to accommodate a large number of people, or because there simply aren't any mosques. Problem solved. Of course Muslims don't celebrate Christmas. How could they celebrate a Christian holiday? But what about the New Year's Eve? Muslims who celebrate the New Year's Eve say, we don't celebrate Christmas. Okay, I get that. Christmas is on the 25th of December, we all know that. But there's one thing, Christians who organize the 25th of December are also organizing the New Year's Eve on the 31st of December. 25th of December is Christmas. Okay, you don't celebrate it. But you celebrate the New Year's Eve, an organization invented by Christians. Look at the New Year's Eve that you claim we don't celebrate. Look at all the huge Christmas trees in houses, on streets, in shopping malls. Look at the Santa Claus characters. Santa Claus, is that the way to celebrate the New Year's Eve? With Santa? To sum it up, they say, I'm celebrating the New Year's Eve to avoid saying, I celebrate Christmas. You're just sugarcoating it. Do you know why Muslims don't celebrate the New Year's Eve? Is the tradition of celebrating the New Year's Eve ours? Do we have a tradition like celebrating the New Year's Eve in Islam? Muslims who don't celebrate Christmas but celebrate the New Year's Eve are sinning without doing anything haram because they take part in something from another religion by imitating them. Because Christmas is their holiday as well as the New Year's Eve. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, whoever imitates a people is one of them. This hadith forbids celebrations like New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, date, calendars, holidays, celebrations, or traditions are the culture of a nation. Culture and religion are very close to each other. If you accept the culture of a nation, then you'll also accept their religion with time. This is what you call assimilation. A religion that loses its characteristics will also disappear from the lives of a nation. And instead of your lost religion, the imitated culture of the nation takes place. When your culture changes, the change of your religion will come very soon. One of the 5 most important goals in Islam is to protect Islam from any changes. It is haram to imitate a culture or a tradition which could cause a change. A change is sometimes not the last step. Sometimes atheism is the result. Christians are faithless people who have been celebrating the New Year's Eve for ages, drink alcohol, commit fornication while celebrating. Almost everything that's forbidden for us. How do we celebrate the New Year's Eve in our country? By performing prayer or reading Quran? Of course not. New Year's Eve is the day people commit all the things which are haram for them. Drinking alcohol, committing fornication, cursing, backbiting, abusing, or raping. Unfortunately, millions of people will commit all these nasty and cruel things on that day. Well, even if you don't do any of these things, what are you celebrating on that day? While millions of people commit all those sins and you're just sitting at home, far away from any haram, what are you celebrating? Even if you're not committing any sin, are you trying to be like them by celebrating the New Year's Eve, a tradition of a misbeliever nation? Yes, I don't say Christmas, I say New Year's Eve. Are you trying to imitate them while people all around the world are suffering? Just look at this from another point of view. Maybe you just didn't think about any of this. Let's look at this from a different perspective. If you want to know if a Muslim can celebrate the New Year's Eve, just look at what people are doing on that day. Do the scholars of Islam celebrate the New Year's Eve, who spent their life serving Islam? Do the people who are in love with Allah celebrate that day? Which soul who struggled all of his or her life to gain Allah's content celebrates it? A proper Muslim, and yes, I'm saying a proper Muslim, and I don't care if you feel addressed or not, doesn't celebrate this sinful day. Look around you. I just told you about the ones who don't celebrate. Now look at the ones who do celebrate. Look at them and compare them. Look at their lives. Look at their loyalty to Islam. And then with a little reasoning, you'll understand if a Muslim celebrates the New Year's Eve or not. Gambling is haram, we know this. But the lottery ticket sale in my country is over 27 million. There are millions of Muslims who forget that Allah has given them the livelihood, who are not satisfied with what Allah has given to them, who enter the long lottery lines to buy lottery tickets, even though they know it's haram. Oddly, most of the people who buy those lottery tickets are probably far away from alcohol, pork, fornication. But when it comes to the lottery ticket, they buy those tickets as if there's no problem. What happened? Just because there are 50-60 million rewards in the end, did you forget the verses of Allah and dip into the lottery ticket? Allah is saying, O you who have believed, indeed, intoxicants, gambling, sacrificing on stone altars to other than Allah, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Satan, so avoid it that you may be successful. They are not aware that they're selling the verses of God for the benefit of the world. New Year's Eve is a day full of sins which causes millions of people to commit sins such as fornication, drinking alcohol, gambling. I will read a beautiful part from the Risale Nur about this topic. O sons of this land, whoever wants to take it personally can do so. Do not try to imitate Europeans. How can you reasonably trust in and follow the wise and invalid, worthless thought of Europe after the boundless tyranny and enmity it has shown you? No, no. You who imitate them in the softness are not following them, but unconsciously joining their ranks and putting to death both yourselves and your brothers. Know that the more you follow them in immorality, the more you lie in claiming to be patriots. Because to follow them in this way is to hold your nation in contempt, to hold the nation up to ridicule. God guides us and you to the straight path. Seriously, what are you celebrating at New Year's Eve? How was 2018 for us as Muslims? How was it for the Muslim world? Are you celebrating this year full of persecution of the faithless people on our Muslim brothers? Are you celebrating the situation of the child whose mom was being raped? Are you celebrating the death of the mothers waiting in the bread line to bring their children bread? Are you celebrating the children in the parks who were killed by bombs, by guns? Are you celebrating the year of my starving Muslim brothers in Yemen? Are you celebrating this year of our perfect sisters and mothers being raped? Or are you celebrating the tons of drinks and the thousands of adulteries, fornications? On that New Year's Eve, the day of sins, do you know how many brothers were encouraged to commit fornication for the first time? To drink alcohol for the first time? Maybe to gamble for the first time, or to smoke for the first time? Are you celebrating these? This year was very good, huh? Did it pass very good for our country, for the Ummah, the Islamic world? That's why you're celebrating it? Don't say I'm just celebrating New Year innocently. There are secret ways beyond it that extends to atheism, to rebellion, and even to betrayal to your Muslim brothers. Either you're not aware of any of this, or you're looking forward to the sins you're going to do on that day. So you close your eyes and you don't care about anyone. We certainly cannot make any concessions to this, because there are huge cliffs between them and us. If we make concessions to the religious issue and take the slightest step, those who are saying, I just celebrate New Year's Eve, are already taking this step. We can fall in that abyss. Those who take a step towards their side become like them and be drowned in that misguided abyss. They celebrate the bombs they throw on our brothers as fireworks in their own country. So-called Muslims who will celebrate New Year's Eve, have a good time.
3, 2, 1.
Have a good time.